One of the main difficulties in almost any community management role is balancing the need to advocate for the community members with the need to achieve the company's goals. Community management is often a liaison between the community members and the rest of the entire company, and it's our duty to let your voices and your needs be heard. The importance of being the community's advocate and the voice in itself makes this role absolutely worth doing. It's a big responsibility, and it's one that I don't take lightly.
The job of a community manager can vary a lot. What you do and what your main challenges are strongly depends on the company and how it sees the community. If you do work in a company that cares of the community and cares for the community, your main challenge is probably around making sure to measure the success, bringing the community forward, and aligning it with business goals. If you do work at a company that has a community, to have a community, you probably have to convince a lot of stakeholders and managers about the value the community could bring. If you're just starting out, hopefully this will not be on your table. One of the most critical traits a community manager can have is empathy. As a community manager, you really need to listen and understand the point of view of the other person, but still be able to communicate a different point of view in a way that they understand. Community management is a really versatile job. I enjoy doing it, and if you want to try it out, go for it.
So I have a few pieces of advice here. The first being is always keep your profile up to date. If you move, you should update your profile. If you get a new device, you should be updating your profile. Keeping your profile as up to date as possible will increase your chances of being invited to various different test cycles. And then another piece of advice is when you're in the test cycles, execute those test cases in full and in a timely manner. Also, interact with the testing team, ask them questions, get to know them a little bit. Show them that you care about this test cycle and you want to submit the best quality work.
This is a really good question, and it's one that we get often. So we recommend that every new tester get started in the uTest Academy as soon as possible. The Academy courses, quizzes, and practice test cycles will teach a new tester both how to use and navigate the uTest platform, as well as how to actually test well once you've been invited to a project. It's important to focus on learning before diving into testing on paid projects so that you're really showing off your testing skills once you get into a real project. Pay close attention to the overview of your cycles. We always recommend reading the overview twice at minimum. And that's not just something we say, we really mean it. It's really good advice. And then only accept invitations that you're going to be able to complete, because reliability is very important to those who are managing tests. Once you're actually in a paid project, focus on quality over quantity in your bug reports and maintain professional communication in chat, tester messenger, and in the community in general. If you follow these tips, it'll set you up on the right path on uTest, and it'll help you to steadily increase your tester rating and your reputation here on uTest.
Well, this is a strange answer, but I would absolutely love to be a game show host. What I love about community management is getting to interact with so many different people every day. I think being a game show host would carry some of the same human interaction in a fun game atmosphere. I personally love games and game shows like Family Feud, Jeopardy, and Survivor. I also look really good in a suit, so that's a plus.
If I could pick any profession outside of CM, I would choose to own a coffee shop. It's actually always been a life dream of mine. I am totally about to echo what Connor said, but one of the best parts about working in community management is talking to people, talking to, all different people from, different lives, different places. I like variety in my interactions and a very lively environment. So having a coffee shop, I think, would suit me. And the end goal as running a coffee shop and being a community manager feels the same to me, because, it's really just about making sure that the customer or, user is happy and is having a positive experience. Um, Also, I just really like coffee.
I've been a community manager for so long, almost 14 years, that it's hard for me to even think about this. I love copywriting, but I don't know that I would be content with only doing that. being a community manager means I get to combine my love of writing with my love of interacting with others. So it's a very good fit for me. But if I could somehow make a career out of being nostalgic for 90s and early 2000s pop culture, then that would actually be a perfect fit for me.
What do I like best about the uTest community? Okay, good question. It's the people. In 6 years since I joined uTest, I have met some of the coolest people that I've ever met in my entire life. And I work with awesome people too in the community management and testing services and delivery teams. But the uTest community, where I started out as a tester, is my very favorite part of uTest. That's you. Thanks for being a part of our community. Talk to you soon.